Hello, I am Mikko Koho and I will present our work on integrating historical person registers as linked open data in the WarSampo knowledge graph. The research is part of the WarSampo project which aims at harmonizing and publishing large heterogeneous sets of data about Finland in the Second World War as linked open data. The WarSampo project started already in 2014. An online semantic portal was published in 2015, which is still available at WarSampo.fi. New additions to the dataset and semantic portal were published in 2017 and 2019, and future improvements are still planned. There are three different person registers integrated into WarSampo. There's an initial actor ontology of 5,600 persons originating from various sources. For example, lists of generals and commanders, lists of recipients of honorary medals, Wikidata, and Wikipedia. The register of military deaths in the Finnish wars, also known as the casualties register, contains information about all of the Finnish soldiers who perished in the wars. It consists of 94,700 person records with rich structured metadata. The Prisoners of War register contains rich structured metadata about the 4,200 Finnish soldiers and other persons who were taken as prisoners of war by the Soviet Union. There is an automated, repeatable process of integrating data from the source datasets into the WarSampo knowledge graph. Steps 2 and 3 in the figure handle the integration of person records into the existing actor ontology. In step 2, a record linkage process matches the casualties register of 94,700 persons against the pre-existing 5,600 persons. In step 3, the record linkage process matches the prisoners of war register of 4,200 persons against the now existing roughly 100,000 persons. These processes consist of first automatically finding matches between the actor ontology and the person register being integrated, and secondly, linking the matched person records to the existing actors and enriching the person instances with new information, and thirdly, creating new person instances in the actor ontology for the unmatched person records. The disambiguation of the persons depicted in the person records is challenging, as the metadata schemas of different sources are not fully compatible. The registers also contain errors, and in some cases there is not enough information available to make a decision one way or the other with enough confidence. Shown here is an example of a death record and prisoner record with a fully matching person name, but based on all the other information, one can be relatively sure that these records are not depicting the same real-world person. There is always some uncertainty involved when matching records that do not use shared identifiers. For example, we have received feedback from a WarSampo user about an error in the data. Apparently there are actually two existing perished soldiers with the exactly same name and same birth date, and they are from the same village. And this error actually exists already in the source data, most likely due to an understandable human error. In record linkage, the goal is to find matching structured data records between heterogeneous databases. Our first approach was to use deterministic or rules-based record linkage in which all person pairs were compared with each other and scored based on a predefined handcrafted formula. And if the score of a pair is high enough, the records are considered to be a match. This already provided good results, but the problem was that the datasets and the related ontologies were being actively maintained and updated, and manually fine-tuning the scoring formula after all data updates was decided to be unsustainable. To overcome the issue of manually maintaining the record linkage formula when data is updated, we created a second solution using probabilistic record linkage. It is based on logistic regression, and it uses comparisons of metadata fields of a pair of records. and some of the weighted comparisons is then used as a score for the pair. The weights are always automatically recalculated based on the data when integrating a person register. And we use the matches from the previous solution as training data. Manual evaluation of a random set of matches resulted in 1.0 precision, meaning that they were all correct. However, recall calculation is not feasible as it would require manual inspection of a very high number of possible pairs, of which some have very little information. So in practice, it can be difficult to decide that there is no match for a given record. By looking at the calculated comparison weights, we can also determine what pieces of information are important in disambiguating persons in the military history context. These are the weights obtained in the case of linking prisoner records to the persons in the initial actor ontology and in the death records. We can see that date of birth is the most important piece of information, followed closely by family name. Municipality of birth and military rank are also very important. Given names, occupation, and military unit still provide clear useful information for the disambiguation. And in this, the two least important comparisons are left out of the graph. The person's perspective of the WarSampo portal depicts the biographies of soldiers using the integrated information from multiple sources. The perspective also enables viewing the soldier's warpath on a map and a timeline, and source photographs of the person, along with links to further information. The data is published on a public Sparkle endpoint, which the portal also uses, and anyone can access and use the data, for example, for prosopographical research or for building semantic web applications. The record linkage approach can be used in the future for integrating more and more information about the soldiers into the knowledge graph. Thank you for watching this presentation.